Hey, 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 welcome Fargo. Welcome to Talking Town with Jon Adams. I'm sitting here with Miles Jackson and his father. You would know him as B Nod or Mr. B. I have a great show coming up. So as you guys know, I can only do one serious show and then I got to do something fun. So last week I went in on everything that's happening in the United States. I thought, you know what? You guys, now I've never been a soccer fan. And I can tell you that I watch the World Cups and I get all excited because I'm going to finally learn what makes soccer so great and what makes it so fantastic. I've been to a Loon game, and I got to tell you, I just don't get it, right? I'm like, I'm looking in the stands, I'm watching what people are doing, and it's like, man, it's just not enough action for me. So let's fast forward to last weekend. I happened to go to, and I've seen high school soccer games, but I went to a club soccer game, and when I tell you I was invested, I was invested. I got to tell you, soccer parents, I've seen hockey players and I've seen football players, parents and all that. They operate on a different frequency than everybody else. It's a level of excitement mixed with know-it-allness, mixed with tension. And the thing is, it's not like they're scoring, but I started to understand that there's actually plays and people aren't just running up and down the field. That eluded me. And then just watching how things got set up, it was the first time I ever watched a soccer game and went, holy smokes. And it came down to a shootout and my heart is in my chest and I'm like, well, man, I ain't come all the way to watch them lose. They ended up winning the game. I wasn't able to get to the championship. But my man to the right, left, left. Miles Jackson was on that team, and maybe that had something to do with why I was so invested. But either way, the young man to my left is Miles Jackson. He is a 7th grader, right?
Going into 8th.
I was getting to that, sir. He is a 7th grader going into 8th grader. And I wanted to make that point because you're the second high schooler in your family that played a varsity sport this year, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get to that later. This is your show. It's not her show. But the point is, I don't know what Miss Taylor Jackson put in the water, but it seems that family gene just produces championship athletes as well as champions in the classroom. Now, you can get a mix, but typically the mix is like either 60-40 or 70-30. Like I was 80-20 athlete and then student. But that's another story. Actually, it would be 70-30 athlete-student ratio. But you have a combination of both, and I want to welcome you and your dad to the show. How you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
You know what? I was telling these guys on the way in, so my show starts at 11:06. I walked in the studio at 11:05.30. I walk in the studio, James says, we got 30 seconds. Now, I can tell you, I've been up for close to 2 hours, but I don't know what it is about getting out of the dang house that just eludes me. I had to go back and get my keys. Then I had to go back and get my wallet. Then I had to remember my asthma pump. Then I had to remember my water. I forgot to put ice in the water. So anyway, I got here. We're off and running. So first things first, we got the 4th of July coming up, and I want to pose a question to you guys. Do you guys celebrate the 4th of July?
Yeah, we do. We not as much as I used to when I was younger, but we still do.
Why do you got to be a little bit closer to my.
I say, yeah, we still do. Not as much as I used to when I was younger, but we still do.
Why do you celebrate the 4th of July?
It's just the norm. Just use it as another tool just to get around family.
Okay. So time to meet family. And you celebrate the 4th of July, I assume, because he does. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm bringing that up because we had Juneteenth, and I went all in, and I made it perfectly clear to everybody that I'm celebrating Juneteenth. And I got to tell you, it was a big deal growing up, and it wasn't a big deal. We had Rondo Days, and that's a whole nother black event in Minneapolis, and right along with that was Juneteenth. But my dad was in the military, and I grew up with, hey, listen, I don't care what you do. You might be black, but you're American, okay? You can't forget. Ain't no Adams that's in Africa, okay? You're going to celebrate. What country you going to go to celebrate your heritage? Yeah. And so me growing up, all all of the holidays were an event. But the 4th of July, you got snaps, you got bottle rockets, you got snakes, and every once in a while somebody would sneak in a cake or a big flowery, and just one now. We didn't grow up where we had a whole a whole big lighting display. There were a few bottle rockets and Roman candles, and that was it. But I said that to say this. We are in some real turbulent times, okay? And I don't care what happens, okay? Whatever China decides to do with us, we're going to have the same sort of spirit when we come back at them as we had during 9/11. And I can tell you that as a black person, as tragic as 9/11 was, I never felt more American than when we decided to do what we did, you know? And it seemed like for that, it was like a year and a half where nothing mattered but being American, you know? Skin color didn't matter. I know some people say, what? Yeah, listen, it just had a different vibe. And it's sad that we have to have tragedies in order for people to really unite and come together. But I'm telling you, man, I don't know nothing, but I'm telling you, something big is brewing that is going to change the way we look at ourselves as Americans up and coming. So anyway, I'm going to celebrate this 4th. I'm going down to Roger Olson's cabin, and we're going to go golfing, and we're going to burn some meat up and sit in the hot tub, and we'll hopefully fish a little bit. But I just want to say, everybody, have a safe, happy 4th. Yours truly will be celebrating, watching the fireworks over the lake on the pontoon. But with that, we're off and running. So, Miles, first of all, why soccer?
I played it since when I was young, and I kind of just fell in love with the sport.
What do you love most about soccer?
Just the competitiveness.
Is it also because you're faster and more skilled than most of the people your age?
Yeah.
That does help, right?
Yeah.
So when did you know that you were going to start dominating the competition?
When I was younger, it was pretty easy for me to score and stuff. So
yeah,
I knew that I was going to be good at the sport.
Yeah, I remember seeing a video here or there. The thing is, Miles is now a man. I don't know if you guys can see him, but when I met him, he was a mighty mite. He was only like, I don't know, 1.5 feet tall. But you have filled out nicely. And now you just don't play in your age group, do you?
No.
So what this last tournament you guys won, what age group were you playing against?
That was, I think, a year older, a year or two. Yeah.
Okay. Didn't look like it.
No.
Now the funny thing is, your whole team, the way that you guys just know what each other's going to do. I was really impressed with the fact that it didn't seem like you had any superstars, but there were flashes of superstardom through each one of your players, even in the rotation. And as a coach of 30 years, I've never seen anything like that, where even when you – look, I get goosebumps. Even when you weren't on the – is it a pitch?
Yeah.
Even – look at me knowing the terms. Even when you weren't on the pitch, there wasn't a drop-off. Actually, there was a surge where you guys played in their end for that few minutes that you were out. Typically, when your superstar comes off the pitch, that doesn't happen. So I don't know who your coach is, but very well coached. You guys were disciplined. There were a couple times where there were some shoves in the back, and you didn't get no card, but there was a whistle and this and that. And that was one of the things that I really started going, oh, there's little things that happen in soccer that people don't see unless you're there, right?
Yeah.
Like the gentle nudges, the body position bump, right? Yeah. The thing with the legs and the feet, getting the guy off his spot. How did you learn how to do that? I mean, what goes into being able to be that skilled?
It's just a bunch of practice, and after a while, you just get used to it.
It becomes second nature.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many hours a week do you practice?
I'd say maybe 3 to 4. Not very much.
3 to 4 in the summer.
Yeah.
It's not very much. How many hours a day?
I'd say around 1 and a half.
So 4 hours a week to get to see what I saw.
Yeah. Wow.
So then, has it always been that way, or have you done more? Do you do a lot of traveling in the summer?
I do a lot of traveling. Could you repeat your question? Sorry.
You travel a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you guys go?
Just anywhere, really.
Like, what was the last one? You were in Chicago, Ohio?
St. Louis. Yeah.
Somebody else is in Ohio. We won't name that person yet. Hey, if anybody could tell me the mystery seventh grader that we're talking about, you're going to win a free big size Snickers. So,
Can I tell you?
no, you're not eligible. So one of the things is that your mom and your dad are not together. They're not married.
No.
Okay. How do you balance that around the things that you need to get done?
I just try to stay disciplined when at either their house and try to remember my hardest to practice when I'm not at my dad's, because he really pushes me to practice every day.
Okay. Not so much on the other side of the scale?
Not really.
So that's where you have to be more disciplined when you're
Yeah.
not. So big game, James says we're already up against the break. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Miles Jackson, the soccer phenom from North Fargo. We're going to try to get him over Oak Grove we can. You want to call on the phone number 701-293-9000. Welcome back to Talk of the Town with Jon Adams. James, is that a new playlist you got out there? That was a pretty hot little beat there.
Hey, we're just rolling with what we have.
Well, you know what? You're doing good work, James. Welcome back to Talk of the Town with Jon Adams. I'm here with Miles Jackson and his father, Mr. B.J. Jackson, or Mr. B from, I forget what company he works for, but we'll get to that. Anyway, so we're talking about, when you hear stories about how much it takes to get to the next level, you're like, hey, man, I practice 4 hours a week. So are you like my son where you carry a soccer ball, you kick his was a basketball. Mm-hmm. But so do you watch a lot of soccer? Who's your favorite player?
Pele. Yeah.
Pele.
Yeah.
You're going back that far?
Yeah.
With all the so with all of the superstar soccers in the world, how did you land on Pele?
I just think he's the best player in the world, and I read a full book about him, so I got to know more about his life and how he became to be one of the best players in history.
Okay, all right. So then, I mean, Diego Maradona, you know, none of those guys. What's his name? Married this Spice Girl. God, I forget. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, dude, first of all, I'm impressed. Pele. That is a name. I mean, anytime you only have one name, you know that you're great. I mean, think about it. Prince, Pele, Madonna. That's it. So anyway, so did you have to practice a lot, or did it come easy to you?
I had to practice a lot.
What did you do in terms of practice? I mean, there's a whole lot of dribbling work. You know, you got a soccer net up in the apartment and you're kicking at it.
Mm-hmm. I'd just be in the basement dribbling around in circles and stuff, and then I'd do this app called Dribble Up, and
Really?
Sometimes I'd go across the street and go to the park and just shoot on the net.
An app for how to practice.
Mm-hmm. It's like it's a ball that tracks your movement or whatever.
Really?
And like you do the thing it's telling you, and then every time you complete it, it gives you a rep, and you have to try to get more reps in every single time.
So you can track just how you're performing.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, while you're doing these exercises.
Yeah.
Man, sports have changed. I remember my Dribble Up app was go out and hopefully your brother could throw some footballs to you. You know, just get in and out of your stance over and over, do push-ups and sit-ups. We didn't have an app. We were cavemen. So then I want to talk about this. You're an A student, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just that, to me, that's amazing because I was never even close to an A student, and I always wonder how people are able to do it. But how do you balance that during the school year? I mean, is it hey, I need to vote this much time to this much time to that? Do you have a schedule? How do you work that out?
When I get home every day, I make sure I do my schoolwork before I even think about touching my Xbox, PlayStation, my ball, or any of that.
So let me understand, because you said that like an adult. And I can hear my mom saying, don't even think about touching that PlayStation and Xbox until your homework is done. Is that pretty much just built in?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had to pick, I almost said if you had to pick your top 3 teammates, but we don't want to cause any trouble because I'm sure you love them equally.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to North.
Yep.
Okay. Is North a soccer power?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Is that right? When's the last time they won state?
I'm not sure.
Man, it ain't that powerful, huh? Oh, well, hey, listen. I guess you can train. You can change that.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to. Well, you're only going to be going into 8th grade.
Yeah.
So you're not even in high school. Here's a question: how do you maintain being a kid? Knowing, and I say that because varsity sports is different from club.
Yeah.
Right. You have to be all in if you want to be great. How do you not get ahead of yourself?
I just make sure to check my ego and to remember there are many people better than me. So I just got to remember I'm not on top of the world.
So you make it sound like you're not even close. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe I could have used a little bit of that this weekend. Oh, by the way, congratulations to Rory, Mike Western, some other cats. Hats off to Toby. I want to tell you guys, I absolutely stunk it up this weekend playing golf. I'm going to put it out there because you know what? I need a little humility in my life. Miles has taught me. I shot a 95 in the club champion stroke play. So I'm putting it out there, but don't worry. I'm going to bounce back. For those of you that were cheered for me, I'm going to bounce back, but it was a rough weekend. And I followed it up with a 9-hole 45. So it's not like things got better. So whatever happens, I'm going to go out and practice. I'm going to get better. So Miles, there's also something else that's coming up in your life that's pretty significant, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what might that be?
My little brother.
Oh, I thought it was playing varsity soccer, but okay, just tell the world that. No. But yes, congratulations, Mr. BJ and Miles. You guys are having. You're gonna have a little brother. Tell me about that.
I'm just very excited that I'm going to have a sibling.
Yeah, somebody that you can hang out with,
Yeah.
teach them the ropes, maybe take a little heat off you. Right? Oh no, when you're an only child, there's a lot of heat, huh?
Yeah.
There's no other spotlights. It's just like boom, you walk in the house, it's a tractor beam. Plus, I bet they want to know what you've been up to all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems to me that as dads, we want to know because we want to be like, okay, he's on the right track. It seems like moms, they want to know, and it's like, nah, you got to explain a little more. It's like, dude, I was just hanging. Well, who was there? What were you guys doing, right?
Yeah.
It's just a different vibe, and I noticed that with my boys, it's like that. Even now, like Jackson's dating folk. Anyway, so it's just a different dynamic. So then, how do you get away from soccer? In other words, that can't be your singular focus.
Yeah.
So what do you do for entertainment?
Usually when I'm done with practice or just dribbling or shooting, I'll just walk down to my room, do what I have to do, and then play my game or chill with my cats.
Cats?
Yeah.
Ugh, yuck. Sorry, cat lovers, but I got to let you know that I don't like cats simply because they're indifferent. I mean, they have an attitude that no animal should have. If you don't have an opposable thumb, you should not be as arrogant as cats are. I'm just saying it. I'm putting it out there. Now, before we get off the line, before we go to our break, we don't have one, but James tells me that I had a caller that actually knew the answer to the Snickers question. So I don't know, did the caller hang on or did they go? All right, go ahead. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
I know who that is.
Me too.
Hey, I know who the mystery seventh grader is.
You do? Well, I'm sorry, but if you are the mystery seventh grader, you are not eligible. But I thank you for calling in. How are things going?
Good.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sitting here with your cousin, and we're having a ball. So we're going to get you off the phone so we can continue on with this interview.
I think she said something she won.
She can't win. She can't win, dog. Anyway, thank you for calling in, Miss Mystery Caller, and you have a great day. So now we get back to you have a lot of friends over. Do you go to parties? Do you go to dances? Or is it all just that laser focus on school and soccer?
Mainly the laser focus, but I do invite quite a bit of friends over sometimes.
Oh, you be parlaying, huh?
Yeah.
So, Dad, I'm going to ask you because for me, I loved when my sons would have kids over because you get to see the dynamic. So how do you go ahead?
As he got older and started having more friends over, it was mind blowing. I was like, all right, my son got homies, because at first it
Right.
was just like, all right, he got friends that he see at school, but now you start seeing the other friends coming over to the house, just hanging out, and or him asking, yo, can I go kick it with this person? I was like, oh man, he's growing up.
Right?
Time is coming where he ain't gonna want to hang out with me no more.
Oh, it's coming. And trust me, it hurts. Women always talk about the hurt they feel. There's no greater pain than when a dad has to let go of his little homie. I mean, this guy, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You grow up, he follows you around. He's got to be where you be. You see him doing what you do. And in a blink of an eye, now it's like, hey, man, you want to play Xbox? Oh, Dad,
I'm good.
I can play for a minute. And then comes a day where like, nah, I got to go over here and see Jeffrey.
That happened like not too long ago. He asked if he can walk over one of his friend's house, and I'm looking at the map. I'm like, that's kind of far. Come on, Dad, I got it. And the deep voice is all in the phone. I can do it, Dad. I'm like, all right.
Dog, he's got the warrior spirit. Now most of y'all don't know, but back in the day, we used to walk across town to go where we were going.
Yep.
Now if a kid said, hey, like they live in Bluemont Lakes and they're walking to downtown Fargo, we're like, what? You're gonna walk that far? It's amazing how much society has changed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nothing to walk 3-4 miles to get to where you were going, right? And now if a kid says that, you're like, oh man, this must be important. So, how do you make time for your old man?
I hang out with him when I have nothing else to do, and
You schedule him in?
Yeah.
Nothing else to do. I gotta make them hang out with me.
when there's nothing else. Yeah, but you know what? You're not even how old are you?
13.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a teenager, but you're like a toddler in the teenager game.
Yeah.
Are you already leaving that man? You're in 7th grade. You're supposed to be watching movies with him. You know, take him outside and show him how to dribble the ball. Have you beat him in basketball yet?
I have not. I've come close. Wait, I did actually.
Oh.
Not too long ago.
That time don't count. My knees was hurting.
Okay, listen, we got to go to break here. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the demise of Mr. B.J. Jackson as what used to be a stellar athlete, but now it appears Miles has turned the tables. This is Talk It Down for Jon Adams. If you want to call in, the phone number is 701-293-9000. Welcome back to Talk of the Town with Jon Adams. I'm here with Miles Jackson and Mr. B from BJ's Finance and Wholesale. I'm joking. I have no idea where he works. So we're back, and I guess I have another caller to answer the question, who's the other seventh grader in the city that's making headway as a varsity and doing great things in the classroom? James, are you there?
I'm right here. How
Hey,
y'all doing?
how you doing, sir? I'm doing fantastic. I'm on with Miles. So they say you know the answer to the trivia question today.
I believe I do.
Okay, take a run at it.
I believe her name is Jaya. If I'm saying it right?
Okay. She got a last name?
The last name would
Oh,
Jackson.
man.
I'm gonna go with Jackson. Jaya Jackson.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Jay
Taylor.
Jackson. You know what?
Jaya Taylor.
Oh no, it's too late now. You don't get two answers. But I want
I
to
don't
thank you
get
for
two.
calling in, fella.
No problem.
You have a great day. So James was close. He got it on the second bounce. So now it's really easy. Somebody can call in and answer the question. As a matter of fact, we'll open it up to anyone. So anyway, to continue on. So right now your life is soccer, Xbox, and school,
Yeah,
right? If you had a different sport to play, what would it be?
I'd say probably football. Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah.
Well, how are you going to play soccer if you got football? Don't they play at the same season?
They do. I played football.
It's a trick question, son. Don't reason it. So what position would you play?
Either running back or wide receiver.
Oh, man, you tough. You like, I will be a running back. Because you slight of frame. I mean, listen, it seems to me for soccer, you got the right build, but
Yeah.
running back? I mean, your old man was running. Wait a minute. Here's a question. Were you his size when you were his age?
Nah.
Oh, so that ain't going to be your future right there, see? My son Jackson knows that I'm just a carbon older version of what he's going to become.
Yeah.
He says that's not going to happen. Trust me, son. I used to be 210. I mean, I was in the 8th grade, but that's another story.
See,
for
we got
another
that in
day,
common.
right? So Miles, what are your hopes for the future?
I hope to be a professional player. Yeah,
How many people in the world become professional soccer players?
not many.
You ain't got the percentages?
No.
You might want to look that up. Less than 1% become basketball pros, right?
Yeah.
And I think football's a little bit higher. So then what are you going to study in school? Because I assume you're going to college.
Yeah.
What college do you want to go to? Don't say North Carolina.
Either LSU or the Arizona State Sun Devils.
LSU?
Yeah.
Have you been to Louisiana?
No.
Do you know how hot it is down here? You know how hot it is here?
Yeah.
Now add about 100 pounds of sweat on top of that. It's a swamp. It's a swamp. Now Arizona State? Huh? Oh, I get it. Arizona State. So if I think we need to go to Arizona State so then Uncle Big Daddy could come visit you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we could play golf. You ever play golf?
Not a real game, but I've been to Top Golf a couple times.
That's not golf. That's like me saying I play soccer and I play on a foosball table. Right?
Yeah.
It's not even close. Come on, man. It hit me with the ooh-wop. Well, I'm surprised your father hasn't taught you the greatest game ever invented, but, you know, he is. Does that say Camping World?
Yeah.
So I got to tell you guys, I didn't take my Adderall this morning. I'm a little off balance to Camping World. Okay. Anyway, so what are the rest of your summer plans then? Is it just soccer? Are you going to the lakes?
I think we're going to the lake for 4th of July.
What lake?
I'm not sure.
Alex, like it's over by Alexandria.
Man, you got a lot of I ain't sure's in your bag. we got to toughen that up a little bit.
All right.
So then, when we talk about education, and to me, I always told my sons that the most important thing you could do is be knowledgeable.
Mhm.
Okay, and you need to be knowledgeable so that you can get a good job to make enough money Because to me, I don't care who you are. Every job sucks. I have friends that are millionaires, and I have yet to call them and have them not just complain. You know, matter of fact, one of my friends yesterday, he's got a lake home that rivals anybody on the lake. Okay, and I call him up, and he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders because of he's running this company. And I said, well, you got this palatial estate. That's got to make it a little better. So my advice is, whatever you go into, make sure you make a lot of money. And, you know, they tell you, find something that you like to do and you'll never work. That's a lie. It all becomes work once you have to do it for a living. And the last thing is, make sure the job's going to be around in 10 years. Because those days that your job sucks, if you make enough money, it'll keep you coming back. Right?
Yeah.
And now the only people that that say money doesn't matter are people that don't have it. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the only people that I've ever heard to say money's not everything. Okay? And I don't know why they would say that if they don't have. I've never heard a rich person say money doesn't matter. It all matters. Anyway, hey, there's my diatribe on economics. But anyway, to turn back, so soccer fans, let's talk about it because y'all are a different breed. And I'm going to post this one for Dad. It's just a different vibe. And you've coached football and other sports. Tell me about the soccer fan vibe.
I don't know. When I went to my first Loons game, like Minnesota Loons, like they don't sit down. Like so, we play football. So you know, we get up, we get down, we get up, we get down. They're up the entire game, winning or losing. They up. They got drums. It's screaming. It's high intensity the entire game.
I found it annoying because I was 58 at the time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have the knees or the hips to be standing all game. You know, so I'm looking around people's bodies. And, you know, what I found is the eclectic mix of people. You know? And even the tournament where I went and saw you guys play up at the Pepsi Center, shout out to Fargo for having great soccer facilities. But just it's a different energy, you know? And I think the fans are more in tune to the game because there are little nuances that happen. Like I said, I was like, how's this skinny guy so dominant? And then I saw a jump, and you landed, and your momentum knocked the guy off the ball, but not enough for the ref to blow the whistle. And then another time I saw you go, and your hands got a little extended, and the ref didn't call the whistle. Then a guy bumped you later on. You just pushed him. You knocked him down. I was like, okay, this is the game within the game. But it is subtleties. And the thing is, you got to keep your focus, right? Because there's never just one guy on you. They tell you, if I had to say anything, it was a triangle defense where there was always one guy on you and a guy on either side. Talk about how these guys defend you.
It's never loose for me. Like every time one of us gets the ball, like people on my team, it's always tight defense. There's never like 5 feet ahead of us where we can just run.
Right.
And if we get the ball in open space, they're gonna be on us in like 10 seconds before we can even think about passing it or shooting it.
There's a nuance to passing, isn't there? And it's almost like you have to sucker somebody one way to get the ball off.
Yeah.
See, now I may not have looked like I was paying attention, but it's like, oh, that's how, because you're in a crowd and all of a sudden, boom, the ball is gone. By the way, I don't know who the tall kid was on the other team, but he bent that ball in there. It was in a C shape when he scored. It went up and came down and around and went hard left. I was like, what? And if you've never seen it live, I was like, no. It was a straight curveball. Now that dude, he looked like he was a man, because he was about 6 feet tall. The African cat? Yeah. I was like, don't let him get the ball. Long strider, big feet. Anyway, listen, Big Game James, I can't believe that we're up against the break. This is our last break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up with Miles and Mr. BJ, evidently of Camping World. This is Jon Adams for Talking to China. If you want to call in, the phone number is 701-293-9000. Welcome back to Talk of the Town with Jon Adams. I'm here with Miles Jackson and Mr. B from Camping World. James was on and he guessed Jaya Jackson, which was incorrect. But it sounds like we have another caller. Go ahead, Laura.
Hi, it's Jaya Taylor.
It is indeed Jaya Taylor, the phenom from Shanley. So, yeah, there it is. So now you guys know that the Jackson Taylor gene is strong. It's strong in producing champions and quality athletes. So, you know, I asked the girls, thank you, Laura, for calling in. I asked the girls a question, and I asked, Amaya said, so you think you're going to be as good or better than your sister? You know what she said? Oh, we don't compare games. So, you know, when you guys get together, what's the conversation like? Do you guys talk your trade craft? What do you guys talk about?
Mainly, we just talk about how we've been and stuff because we don't see each other very often, I'd say.
Okay.
And when we do, it's mainly at each other's games, I think, yeah.
Wow. So let's face it. If you want to be great, there's not much time for anything else.
Yeah.
That's the sad part, is that you do have to sacrifice to be a great athlete or a great student, or anything you do, there's that sacrifice that many people don't see. And I talk about all the time as a coach. You know, when you get in high school, if you're not devoting 4 hours a day to your craft, chances are you ain't playing varsity. I mean, you got morning practice, you got film study, you got a ton of stuff you got to do. You memorize the playbook. It's just on top of being a student. So it would stand to reason that you're traveling to St. Louis, she's in Ohio, you guys are winning these championships. I would love to see what you guys' trophy rooms look like, just the both of you. You know, because I've known you since you were a baby. I've known her since she was a baby. And between the two of you, you guys are doing exceptional things. But more than that is you guys are representing your families amazingly. You know, it honestly, it shows that it means something that your last name is Jackson. You know, and I'm proud of you because you could get the big head. Trust me, if I do what you did, I'm not sure that I wouldn't put it out there that I'm one of the top. And not in golf, though. Anyway, but so you guys get together. Basically, you're just allowed to be kids for those few minutes, and you talk about it. What are some of the similarities that you guys have, the difficulties? Now, there's one in particular, and I talk about it ad nauseum, and that is the racism that exists in high school sports. Mm-hmm. And I know my boys heard it. I know Jaya heard it. How do you deal with that?
I just try not to let it get to my head. It doesn't happen very often to me, but if it does, I just ignore it, yeah. Yeah,
what else can you do, right? Now it's funny because back in the day, that really wasn't a thing because you could jump in the stands and fight, okay? Fans understood that you don't get to say whatever you want without repercussions. And a lot of times my people in the stands would deal with that. I could just go and play, you know? And it's a sad commentary, but I wanted to bring it up because people need to recognize that as much as you guys like to think that it doesn't exist and this is all pie in the sky, these are things that you deal with every day. Well, I know I deal with it every day, you know? But to be able to rise above it, and we really don't have a choice, do we? Mm-hmm. Because the alternative is what? If you do the opposite, you end up giving away the power that you did have. Yeah. Okay? You're either kicked out of the game, or now you got a reputation as being uncoachable, or what's worse, you can get in this guy's head if you say the right thing. Because once people know that, as a coach, I'm like, hey, this dude is soft. Just say something about his sister. That'll get him off his game, because after all, we're here to win the game. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's the one thing that people don't understand. When you have a passion for the game, you will do whatever it takes within reason, right? Yeah. And nothing is off limits. Like we talked about, there are things that happens on teams that coaches and parents know nothing about in the locker rooms. But that's how you build camaraderie. Some of it good, some of it's not good, but it's your team. Like you'll bag on your teammate, but you won't let anybody else bag on them, right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about going into play varsity?
Feels good. Knowing that I'll be playing with people who are at max 4 years older than me. So it's just a crazy thought.
What a challenge, huh?
Yeah.
But was this your goal? You said, okay, this is what I want at this age?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't say it as a matter of factly. I didn't decide I wanted to play varsity football until 9th grade when the coach said, you're going to play varsity. And even then I didn't play till I was a sophomore. But so what are your expectations?
I'm expected to make sure I get good grades, to just make sure I'm behaving in school and stuff. And
what are your expectations of yourself going into football? Football, not football.
I expect myself to always keep up with the pack and to make sure I'm not falling behind.
What are you going to do if that doesn't happen?
I'll try harder and harder.
That's about it, right?
Yeah.
Well said. Well, I'm happy that you had time to get me on the show. I mean, you guys lead busy lives. I don't know if you know this, but I hit 60 this year, so life is. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, there's a reason they call me the Black Unicorn. All right. But I want to thank you guys for coming on. I am very proud of you, and I'm proud of you, Dad, because first of all, not being with Ariel and having a son, y'all call it baby mama, but you guys have raised a wonderful young man. Okay, and I don't know if you guys see eye to eye not, but I always say this: God gives you a kid for a reason, and when they turn 18, that's your gift back to God. And you guys are doing a wonderful job. Shout out to Ariel and Miss Sparks. I had it written down here. Oh yeah, Laura Sparks, congratulations! Can't wait to see the baby when he comes in December or August.
August 21st.
Oh, you got it down. Okay, well, Big Game James says we're about to wrap up. Say, you guys, I want you to have a happy 4th of July. Remember, we're all Americans. I don't care what you say. If you live in this country, we should treat each other as such. With that, I don't have a whole lot more preaching to do. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Have a safe, happy 4th of July, and as always, stay black.